Hello everyone. We're going to be covering machinery maintenance with a few short videos, and this is the first one of a series about of 3 or 4. And what we've got here is a strimmer, and for the purpose of a risk assessment on this particular machine, we have removed the spark plug. So it's sort of safe to use. That's always good practice on any piece of equipment prior to doing any work. It seems a bit extreme and a bit absurd, but it's just safe practice. And if you always remove the spark plug cap from the spark plug, we know it's safe and there's no way that it can start. So we're going to be looking at this strimmer, and in particular the maintenance to the cutting head. And actually, some of you may have some experience changing the nylon cord on a strimmer head, but David's now going to show us how to take the head apart and take out the internal components so that he can change and put in some new cord. So as David starts, so David, would you like to make a start, please? And as David works, I'll just talk through the process. So we've taken off, David's about to take off the head. This particular strimmer head is a self-feed head, which means that when you rev the engine and you tap it on the ground, it automatically removes a certain amount of cord. So that's why it's known as a self-feed head. And basically David's taken out the actual, I suppose this is the sort of cord holder, if you like, or and obviously we've got some cord on it already still, but for the purpose of this exercise we're going to remove this cord, and we're completely thread some new cord, and it's so this is why it's always important that you keep a stock of strimmer nylon cord. So David's just taken off the old cord, and as I said, this is a self-feeding head. Now David's actually just carrying out some simple basic maintenance, just cleaning off all the debris. For the point of view, David hasn't got gloves on, but he has got on barrier cream for health and safety. And it is important that you do protect your hands when carrying out maintenance of machinery. So David's just using a wire brush to make sure that he cleans all the debris from the head, because what happens is when you're strimming, sometimes if you strim a bit short, I mean, there's a build-up of excess rubbish. So we can have a quick look. So this bit in here is the sprung load. This helps to when you hit the strimmer head on the ground at speed, when you rev, that actually allows the cord to free. And then you've got the internal components. So it's fairly sort of straightforward. And then so okay, David, when you're ready, let's so we've pre-cut some cord. You tend to get with experience a good idea of how much cord you need, and basically David's going to start threading the cord round. It's a bit fiddly, this job, and it takes a little bit of practice to get this right, but we're just trying to show you on the back of this cord feeder, call it what you will, feeder, or there is an arrow, and that arrow tells you let's have a quick look. I've lost David now. There we are. There is an arrow that tells you which way
it's just in there, and it will tell you the way that you're meant to reel the cord round.
Okay.
It's probably quite hard to see on the camera, but all trimmer heads have them.
Okay, great. Thanks, David. So basically it gives you the instruction as to which way to wind the cord onto the reel. And so as you can see, David's now doing that. And actually, because it's a self-feeding head, it has two cords on this one, and actually I think most trimmers have a double cord. And on the actual housing there on the head, there's also a clip where David can just clip the cord into place. So he's got the first one in. Basically, while David's doing that, we'll come back to that in a moment. We've had a good clean up around the head with a wire brush. All around here gets really covered in soil and debris, and it can cause a problem for maintenance. And in particular, we're going to be looking shortly at other aspects of maintenance on this strimmer. But here we've actually got this screw comes undone, and in here is a grease point. Okay, so we'll be having a look at how to make sure that that grease head is maintained, and that's something that you should be aware of. We'll go back to David. So he's just putting the other cord on now. While David's just finishing that up, with any item of equipment, please take the time to sit and read the manual, the operator's manual. The operator's manual will give you all the information that you need to know to be able to carry out the simplistic maintenance tasks that you can do as the operator. You know, there's no need to send this down to the local mower repair centre to do this. You should be able to do this yourself. And as I said, it is a little bit fiddly, but